So I have been in Jeremiah, and Jeremiah was the weeping prophet, and that's because he was real emotional, real close with the Lord, and oftentimes what he had to talk about, which I'll talk about here in a second, caused him to just cry, which was great. But much like Moses, right? Jeremiah didn't have like the ability to speak on cue, right? And so he had concerns when God came to him and said, hey, you're going to be a prophet of the Lord. And so a little bit like what happened with Isaiah, so I'll remind you because of course you remember, but when Isaiah was come upon to be a prophet, he sort of said, oh, I live amongst iniquity and I'm a man of iniquity. And the Lord took a coal from the fire and an angel took a tongue and put it on Isaiah's lips. Well, the same thing kind of happened with Jeremiah, but he was honored because God did it himself. He went ahead and made his lips put the words there to go ahead and speak. And that was important because if you remember a few videos ago, we talked about how we reached the point where the earthly kings just weren't doing so hot, right? And in Isaiah, we start to turn to see that Jesus is going to come onto the scene as the Messiah. But in order for Jesus to come onto the scene, right, we want to serve a king. So we turn to Babylon. And because of Hezekiah's actions, the people are going to be taken as prisoners to Babylon. And that's where Daniel's going to begin sort of his own story. And so Jeremiah is the lucky prophet who gets to tell the people that. And guess what? This is going to be a shocker. That's not a popular message. So there's like assassination attempts, and Jeremiah is like going back to God and being like, ah, and then he's going to the people going, ah, and he's in this like tough spot. And he's this just wonderful man of God and faithful servant, and his words are so beautiful. And that's why so often what we see is like Jeremiah's messages when we are feeling let down, when we're feeling defeated, right? Because that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to get people to understand that sometimes what it is about is submitting to God and following the plan in service, right? And that's like key. That's key to the whole game. So that's where I'm at in Jeremiah. Still a little ways to go, but while I was here, I thought I might as well share a little bit about Jeremiah. Oh, I should have cried. That would have been a great honor to Jeremiah, but happy Sunday, chatting a Cheesman.